All right, so you ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Today, we're going to be looking at First Next Step
Okay.
by Shawn Wondunna Foley,
Right.
published just yesterday, January 14th, 2025,
Oh,
over at www.innerway.com.au.
I've seen some of his stuff before, yeah.
Now, this is a short one, folks. It'll only take you about a minute to read, but don't let that fool ya.
Right.
Like a lot of these short pieces, there's some seriously potent ideas in here.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all about how to tap into your inner compass,
Yeah.
and how to take those very first steps and do it with intention.
Yeah, that's so key, isn't it? The intention behind our actions. I
Exactly.
mean, that's what really sets the whole thing in
It's
motion.
like you can have all the goals in the world, all the plans, but if you're not intentional about it, I don't know.
Right.
It's like, are you really going anywhere?
Exactly.
So one thing that struck me right off the bat is how Wondunna Foley starts off. He emphasizes being present,
Yes.
like right here, right now.
Absolutely. That mindfulness, that awareness of the present moment, it's like the bedrock. Everything else builds from there.
I mean, that's something you hear a lot these days, right? Mindfulness,
Right.
being present.
It's everywhere, but I think it's easy to just brush past it, Like
Yeah.
it's just another buzzword.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's truly transformative when you actually practice it.
Okay, so let's break it down. How does being more mindful, more present actually translate into clarity and insight?
Well, think of it this way. When you're completely anchored in the present moment, you're not caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future.
Right.
All that mental chatter fades away and you can just see things as they are.
I get that.
It's like climbing to the top of a mountain, right? You can see for miles in every direction.
Oh, I see.
You get this incredible perspective on the whole landscape.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that's what mindfulness can do for you. It
Right.
helps you see the bigger picture. And from there, you can start making decisions that are truly aligned with your deepest values.
So that brings us to this whole idea of conscious action, right?
Mhm.
Aligning our actions with our inner spirit, with the universe.
Right, right. It's about being in sync.
And that's where it gets kind of, I don't know, like almost mystical for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the universe sending us signs. How do we recognize that? And what does it actually look like to act in alignment?
I think it's different for everyone, but it often shows up as opportunities that just seem to fall into your lap.
Okay.
You're thinking about something and then boom, out of the blue, a friend mentions something relevant.
Wow.
Or you stumble across a book or an article that speaks directly to what you're grappling with. It's like the universe is saying, hey, pay attention to this.
So it's not like this big flashing neon sign.
No, it's usually subtle. But when you're present and paying attention, you start to notice these synchronicities. And acting in alignment might mean taking a leap of faith, even if it feels scary.
Well, that's where the courage comes in, I guess.
Yeah.
And Wondunna Foley really emphasizes the importance of authenticity and integrity in taking these steps.
Oh, absolutely. Authenticity is about honoring your own unique voice, even if it goes against the grain.
Right.
It's about having the courage to be yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means standing out from the crowd.
Because a lot of times I think as humans, we just want to fit in.
Yeah.
We want to be accepted. So to really be authentic takes strength.
It does. It takes a willingness to be vulnerable, to show up as your true self, imperfections and all.
Right.
And that can be terrifying, but it's also incredibly liberating.
So how does all this tie into facing challenges?
Mm-hmm.
Because life is full of challenges. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And that's where that inner strength we cultivate through authenticity really comes into play.
Yeah.
It gives us the resilience to navigate tough times. And the article talks about using spiritual intuition as a compass.
Right. That gut feeling.
Exactly. That quiet voice inside that knows what's truly right for you, even when it doesn't make logical sense.
Okay. But how do you know when to trust that gut feeling? Because sometimes it's just your ego talking.
Right.
So how do you know the difference?
That's where discernment comes in. It's about learning to distinguish between a fleeting impulse and that deep, resonant knowing that comes from your core.
So any tips on how to do that?
Well, one thing that can help is to reflect on your past experiences. Look back on times when you followed your intuition, even when it seemed risky. What were the results?
Oh, I see.
Did it lead you in a positive direction?
Okay.
More often than not, you'll find that those intuitive leaps led to growth, even if the path wasn't always easy.
And that kind of leads into another point Wondunna Foley makes, that this whole journey of inner alignment can actually lead to Like personal growth,
Yes.
spiritual evolution even.
Absolutely. It's not about reaching some final destination. It's a continuous process.
So I guess kind of like every time you make a choice that's in alignment with your true self, it strengthens that connection.
Exactly. It's like a spiral staircase.
Right.
With each step we take in alignment with our inner spirit, we gain a wider perspective. We open ourselves up to new possibilities and deeper levels of understanding. It's a beautiful thing.
It is. He uses this beautiful image too.
Hmm.
He talks about the path becoming illuminated by the light of truth and authenticity.
Yeah, I love that. It speaks to that sense of freedom that comes with living in alignment. When you're authentic, you're not weighed down by the need to please others or conform to expectations. It's about letting go of those limiting beliefs and attachments that might be holding you back.
That's interesting, freedom from attachments.
Hmm.
But isn't it important to have some attachments in life? Like to our loved ones, our values, our work.
Of course, but it's about recognizing that true freedom comes from within. When you're secure in your own sense of self, your relationships become more authentic and fulfilling. Not because they're filling a void, but because they're a genuine expression of your love and connection. Your passions are ignited because they come from a place of deep inner alignment, not from a need for external validation.
So bringing it all together, Wondunna Foley is basically making a call to action here,
Yeah.
right? He's calling for us to be present,
Yes.
to be our authentic selves, and to act with integrity. And he paints this picture of a future where, like, everyone's living in alignment with their truth.
It's a powerful vision, isn't it? A world where we're all connected, where we're all striving to live in a way that honors our individual truths and our collective well-being.
Definitely powerful.
Ugh.
So much to think about. And as always, we want to leave you with something to ponder.
Yes.
So I want you to ask yourself this. If you were to take just one small step today, one first next step, in alignment with your inner spirit, what would that look like for you? What action, no matter how small, could you take that really embodies your authentic self? Think about it.
Great question.
And until next time, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.